Good morning or good evening. ExploreTraveler here. We are live, coming up to you from somewhere in Alaska, and we're bringing you some of the news and views of today. And I think today we're going to go over some general blogging updates, some things that I've learned, and I hope that some other people can learn from us and maybe even do better than us. So I think first off, we talk about general web design, and ExploreTraveler.com has updated the theme, and we had streamlined the older theme, and it was basically bogging down the site, but we had to cut out so much content that in order to make it load fast enough and to be able to bring all of our articles and photos and everything to the world, we ended up having to change the theme, and that comes with its own complications, right? Sometimes different plugins don't work with each other, and so I think today one thing I want to talk about, because we have a lot of travel bloggers, and travel bloggers always want to know how to either make money on their website or how they get their website to have more traffic. It's always something connected into that. So I thought quickly I'd share some of the tools that I use to monitor our website and maybe even improve it. So first, with our general updates, let's talk about, there's a website called GT Metrics. Now GT Metrics will give you your page speed score, and it will also give you another score called Y Slow. And under your page details, it will have something called page load time and a lot of information. It'll tell you, basically it's going to give you a general update on what is going on your website. Now it compares your website to others, and it kind of comes up with a general score, and it's a really good tool, and it allows you to grade your work on your designs and the things that you have going on there. Another tool, and this is kind of an important one because most of your traffic from a search engine standpoint normally comes from Google, and there's a Google tool called Page Speed Tools and Insights, so Page Speed Insights, and it will give you an update on mobile speed, what is sort of majorly wrong with it, what is like a red warning, a yellow warning, or even maybe all green 100%. I think you don't necessarily have to get everything in the green, but I think it's always a good idea, right? If you're using this tool, you want to get everything into the green as much as possible. Recently, Google has launched a new thing called Mobile Friendly Test, and this will test your website, and it's going to give you a general idea of what's kind of going on and what you need to do to improve your website's functionality from a Google standpoint. It's kind of going to give you a snapshot of what Google itself is looking for. And this tool, I use it quite often because things can change. And one thing to keep in mind, the tool seems to have a caching function. And what I mean by that is, say you made some changes and you want to improve it, it may not show up in the tool. And sometimes I gotta wait, I'll do it in the night, I'll come back in the morning, I check in and everything's fine. But I wasn't able to see it basically in real time. Another test I like to use is called Pingdom. Pingdom is a website speed test. It allows you to test the speed from more than one location, including international, and it will give you a really nice understanding of what is your average load time, page size, and different things that might be impacting your speed. I think those are some really, really good tools that will help you in understanding what you need to do and what you need to do to build a better website, right? So today, what's going on is, so we have the website design. I've redesigned it with the help of the others of the team here in order to give you a nice another cross-reference of different articles. I try to make it a lot more pictures, some big pictures, some small pictures, And I've kind of highlighted a few things, such as, people might be interested in going to Disneyland, and so I've got some highlights there. And then down below you got the thumbnails, and you can scroll from page to page and get a really good idea of the different things that we're posting. Remember, more than one of us posts on the website, so we have new content weekly, and we've got all the sharing icons you can imagine up on top. And we've recently been able to add in quite a bit of our social media that we have access to. And if you go up there, you'll see everything from Facebook to Pinterest to LinkedIn, and YouTube, everything. So we have a lot of videos and stuff on different social media. It is not all on the website. So if you're wanting to get trusty travel videos, go to ExploreTraveler's YouTube channel. You get a lot of information there. These podcasts are populated over on cloud. What is it called? SoundCloud. And they should come out in Google as well. Sometimes on YouTube we'll have issues if I play you guys a really good song, right? So if I play something from Johnny Cash I like a lot, YouTube doesn't like that, penalizes me, and kind of limits its search. I do use some music that is non-copyrighted, and when I do that, don't have any issues with YouTube, and it distributes through the system quite well. So I encourage you guys to go to our new website, check it out, and think about some different things that you might want to do and you might want to try. So let's take a small break here, and I'll be back in about 1 or 2 minutes. Enjoy the music while we wait, and I'm going to bring you some new information rather quickly on some different things that's going on in the travel world. So we're back here, and I just wanted to kind of go over some travel opportunities in a reference to some of the changing climate up in the northern Arctic. It's not all bad, but it's, obviously things are changing up in the Arctic. Ice is not staying as long as it used to, and we now have the Northern Passage has been officially opened, and the first cruise ship went through the Northern Passage. It was a very big deal for Alaska. The people in Bethel were very excited. They kind of stood out there, and everybody on the ship and everybody on the shore there in Bethel was waving to each other. And there's talk about possibly making a Arctic port, so a cruise ship can actually, dock up there, maybe in Bethel or some other place, and be able to let passengers off the ship to explore Alaska. That would be a very unusual thing for us, because as of right now, we don't really have cruise ships, docking in, what we call the main part of Alaska. It's all down in southeast Alaska. They come into Skagway, Haines, Juneau, and if you can go on maybe the ferry, and you can go to a few other places, but that's about it. They do come into Whittier. They get on the Alaskan Railroad, and they'll take the Alaskan Railroad all the way into Anchorage and possibly all the way to Fairbanks. So that's how they're normally doing it. So to go into, Nome or Bethel or some place like that would be really interesting, actually. I'm not sure how this will in fact impact us, socially, because we don't get a ton of tourists up north, but we do get some. We get tourists up in the northern Inuit areas, up around Dead Horse, of course, Kotzebue and into Bethel. But we don't get a lot of, huge amount of activity. And so that would be a major change. If you're thinking about coming up to Alaska, or you're currently in Alaska and you want to take the ferry, check out the schedule. In the wintertime, there's been a few cutbacks on the ferry schedule, but it's still a very economic mode of transportation if you want to grab your backpack and do a walk-on. You don't have to get a room, but there is cabins available. There's lots of seating, so if you want to really rough it, and there's like a warming deck on top. People will let you even put up tents, and so you do have some options and some different things that you can do when you're just kind of backpacking around Alaska. Obviously, it's the winter time. It's cold, but it's an adventure within itself. Going through Alaska with icebergs floating by your ship, and you'll still see some animals out there from time to time. Sometimes you'll see the eagles hanging out a little bit further down into Juneau and Ketchikan. They're just right there, hanging out next to the boat as the ship comes in on the telephone wires, and just waiting for you to take a photo of them. So you have lots and lots of opportunities. It's winter, but the Alaskan Railroad is still running. You can take it between Anchorage and Whittier, or you can go from Whittier, Anchorage up to Fairbanks. We see lots of activity now coming from China. Just recently, we saw people in North Pole, Alaska, a whole bunch of them, and they were all Chinese. So if they can explore around Alaska, everybody down the lower 48 needs to get up here and check us out. Maybe come and see the ice sculptures there in North Pole, or come to the dog race that's going to be happening soon up in Fairbanks. So I hope everybody consider where they're going to go for the winter, where they're going to go for the spring and the summer. Start planning, start organizing. If you plan ahead, you can get some pretty good deals. I see a lot of good deals going into South America recently. So I think we got plenty of opportunities. Check out our new website design. Come on over, look at our different channels, whether it be Reddit, Facebook, Instagram. We've got lots of cool pictures. And every site is not exactly the same. There's some similarities between it, but myself and the other team members have put different material on the different sites. So, with that being said, we're going to head on out, and thank you for all your support, and we hope to see everybody soon. Welcome, and thank you everybody for supporting ExploreTraveler.com.